So if it drops again, if you see any type of frame drops or anything, if it starts turning into a slideshow, please let me know, because I'm using Elgato software, so it doesn't really tell you what's going on unless you happen to see the stream indicator telling you exactly what's going on, like if it took a nosedive. I was really hoping that Twitch would get their act together. Last stream was great, didn't drop any frames whatsoever, and now it's just crapping out again. Frozen Buffalo. At least they changed the border for every level. That was nice of them. At least you're not looking at the same border the entire time. And this was my favorite song out of all of them, the entire soundtrack, and it's just... I don't know. Like I said, this game, I'm just not really a fan of what they did to it. Yeah, this is about impossible to get. I swear they may have changed it for the Sega Saturn, but I know that it's still possible to grab. Ah, crap, just missed it. There's an upgrade up there. There we go. Second try. So now I have air dash, which is crucial to... It actually makes the next fight, like the boss fight coming up, super easy to beat. There's a manipulation you can do. The game thinks you're trying to jump over it. So it tries to go the opposite direction. So it figures you're trying to jump over. Oops. Did it too soon. Okay, it didn't work that time. And it's not falling it forward anymore. Interesting. Yeah, this is super weird. I guess they decided to cooperate that time, at least. What I find interesting is that even though this is ported to the Sega Saturn, it doesn't use any type of internal memory save. It still makes you use the old password system. So that makes me wonder if the Super Nintendo passcodes would work on this version. Can't remember where to go next. By the way, if you're a Guns N' Roses fan, this is My Michelle, basically redone slightly. Okay, now I remember I was supposed to go for the drill guy. Nice. It's covering itself well. Alright, enough of that. Let's go to Mega Man 8. Let's get some Dr. Wabi going. Has everyone seen pretty much, you know, Mega Man X3 before? That's just a kind of more of a curiosity. Things that we were spared in the West. So, I own the Japanese version of this game, which has far better voice acting. Which is kind of a shame, because you really want to have the American hokiness. You just don't get.
Mega Man 8!
Now, assets in this game were actually used to make Rockman and Forte, which was on the Super Nintendo. Pretty much one of the last games to ever come out for the system. So in theory, you really should be able to remake this game as like a demake for the Super Nintendo, which would be really cool to see. I would love to see that. I have no idea what bonus mode is. Yes. Can't believe we're still making these. What's the plot of the game? Plot? What's that? No plot. And that, children, is why God cries when he touches yourself. Excuse me.
Mega Man, today we finish this.
Hey, Zach! Why must I fight you? We are not enemies!
Shut up. Ah!
Mega Man! Roll! Mega Man, hurry! You must come with me!
You can't leave yet.
Rush Jet!
Whoa!
Dad, you'll have to take care of this some other time.
No! Don't run away, coward. You'll pay for this insult. I'll be back.
Dr. Light, what is the problem?
A strange meteor has fallen to Earth just a while ago. This meteor seems to be emitting a powerful energy signature. Something this powerful must not fall into the hands of evil.
I understand, Dr. Light. I'm on it.
Thank you, Mega Man. If you can, please bring the meteor back.
Okay.
So who's doing Dr. Light then? By the way, is it like, are you seeing any frame drops or anything? Because
Ready.
my Twitch notification that the inspector just keeps showing it like nosediving. Okay. Since I'm not a fan of the Elgato software, because you have to rely upon the graph that Twitch shows you, and it's just showing, like, going all the way down to 0. Whereas OBS will basically tell you, like, here's how many frames you're dropping currently in the healthier connection. Well, it could have been mine. I'm seeing spikes just fall through the floor. It's called the Mega Ball. You can attack enemies. It's used to break the game. And Mega Man can swim for some reason. I will say though, this game is pretty colorful. Okay, so I can't slide. No, let me. Okay.
It's over, Wiley.
Remember in Mega Man 7 when Mega Man was going to murder Wily? That was the best ending. Too bad I didn't do it. Just found something that's more powerful than the space. Ha, ha, ha. Now I have a machine gun.
Now the world is mine!
A robot! Is a robot really alive? Does it have a soul? Is it dream of electric sheep? In overrated movies starring Harrison Ford? What? Okay, I understand. Understand what? You just heard that there was a robot. That's it.
I got it, Doctor.
わかったよ。Now, this guy was reused for Mega Man and Bass. And I don't think Tango Man... Well, yeah, this is Tango Man, but I don't think the other person is here right now. I think this person was as well. There was like 2 or 3 bosses that were carried over into Rockman and Forte.
I'm home. Welcome back.
Prepare for some power-ups.
Good luck, Mega Man. Let's do it.
I'm Tangoman!
Yeah, Rockman and Forte was a game that came out in 1998, and it reused a lot of assets from Mega Man 8. Because the official story was that, like, hey, we want to have a game that, like, your little brother and sister can play that isn't too hard. And it is the most brutally difficult Mega Man game ever made. But it's pretty far advanced for a Super Nintendo game, especially coming out back in 1998. But it is really hard. The cart now, I think, sells for around 70. It might be going for less. But for a while, it was getting pretty expensive. Yeah, I don't think I have the rush items. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played it once on stream, but it was emulated. Yeah, but that game is really ridiculously hard. Now, the cool thing about it, though, not only using assets from this game, but you can also play as Bass or Forte, depending on the region. Like in Japan, it was called Forte because it's continuing with the musical theme of the game. and he has a double jump, and he has 7-way directional firing. But as a result, his attacks are far, far weaker. Oh, come on, game. It's like the wind's pushing you far over to the right.
Ready.
Okay, so you can't do a slide jump. It's been a long time since I played this one.
Ready.
Yeah, Rockman and Forte was pretty much built for around Forte or Bass. Because when you play as Mega Man, it is a lot harder. But the game is no cakewalk, depending on, no matter who you pick, really. Sure, why not? Let's turn Mega Man into a side-scrolling shooter. That's what the kids want. Yeah. Playing Rockman and Forte, it's really interesting to see like how many of these enemies were ported over to the game. So I'm pretty sure that a remake could be possible on the Super Nintendo if it's one of those things that I'd like to attempt myself, but unfortunately I don't know how to program at all. Especially in assembly, which is what the Super Nintendo ran on. Because that'd be fun to do. Of course, changes would have to be made, but I think it'd entirely be possible.
Ready.
Oh no! Where's continue put me? Hopefully at least the save point or past that long point. Ugh.
Ready.
This game has long levels to it.
Let's do it!
Crap. Another brilliant design idea.
It's just a kid. Don't make me
Nope.
laugh.
Unfortunately not T. Wallace, which is great. They just basically hurt you and drop you back down, make you do it all over again.
Tornado hold!
Tornado hole!
That's it.
What?
Feel my power! Here you go! Tornado hold! Tornado hold!
Okay, so this does almost nothing. Got it.
Tornado
It was
hold!
actually easier in Rockman Forte, which is crazy because that game is stupidly hard.
Ready.
It's just a kid. Don't make me laugh.
Ha 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 ha.
Tornado hold! Tornado hold! Here you go! Tornado hold! Hit it! Feel my power!
Which game was it, the Mega Man Jump the Shark? Take your pick, really, to be honest. For me, it was probably this game, Mega Man 8.
Ready.
For the X series, for me it was 4. I really do not like Mega Man X4. Which I know I am in the minority when I say that
Are
statement.
you worthy of my
Because I know
challenge?
a lot of people who love Mega Man X4, but for me, I just didn't like it. But I'd say for the numbered series, it was this game by far.
Tornado hold! Hit it! Feel my power! Here you go! Here you go! Yama Arashi!
I don't think I ever played any of the Battlezone series. So I know there's the network, like the Mega Man Network stuff. And I don't think I played any of those. Not really familiar with them.
I'm Frostman.
Alright, let's see how this level goes.
Ready.
Then maybe we'll play some Symphony of the Night, Japanese version, a Saturn version that's so infamous for not being the better port. Which is not really too bad to understand why. It's like when you know how the Saturn works for its internal resolution and how everything was based off of squares instead of triangles that the PlayStation did. Yeah, I'm not really a fan of the Mega Man games, but I do like Mega Man 7, Rockman and Forte, which is, like I said, very hard to talk about that again. And Mega Man X 1 through 3. I like those. Mega Man on a snowboard, because, sure. Remember, when they say that the Saturn can't do transparencies, just tell people to look at this part, because the glass is a transparency. And this is running on a real Sega Saturn. So yes, the Saturn could do transparencies. It was up to the developers to program it in. Pardon me. Because programming for the Saturn was not an easy thing. It was pretty complicated. Battle Network, okay. So yeah, I have not played any of those. By the way, it keeps saying slide and jump, even in the Japanese versions, which must have been very confusing for the Japanese. Especially they didn't speak in English. What is he yelling at me to do?
Jump, jump. Jump, jump. Fly, fly. Jump, jump. Jump, jump. Fly, fly. Jump, jump. Jump.
I hit jump!
Jump,
At least I thought I
jump.
did. Yeah, it could have been better. It just wasn't. Like I said, there was just a lot of things against it. Just trying to, you know, from just the way that the Saturn rendered things to the programming involved. You had to put a lot of work into Saturn games in order to make them look really good. Yeah, the robot saying like, jump, jump, it's like, Okay, we're not crisscross. My clothes are not backwards. And you're not really helping. Alright, let's play some Saturn Symphony of the Night. There were. I think there was... I know there's Shining Force 3 was definitely on the system. Yeah, so looking things up real quick, Shining Force 3 was on the Sega Saturn. I don't know if it got a American release, though. But I think that there is a translation patch out now. United States. 1998. I'm surprised it actually got a US release. Alright, well, what you want to do, T. Wallace? Because that game, I think, is really expensive now. Let me turn off my microphone real quick. Okay, there we go. So, it looks like American copies of the game... That's gotta be... That has to be a repro, because I'm selling for $60. The game on average sells around $250 to $300. If you have a Sega Saturn, buy yourself a pseudo Saturn, which is what I'm playing on right now. It lets you play burned CDR copies. So you can download it. There's a patch for the game. If you can't find the American version, I know there's a patch for it. And then you can play it that way. Because, example, I don't have this game because it's over $100 last I looked. So, I burned it. Well, Saturn shouldn't be too bad now. You should be able to hopefully pick one up, usually around $50 or less. They are also making brand new controllers for it. I have 2 of them ordered, waiting for Castlevania Games to, of course, ship them to me. But they work that way. So the cheapest way to do it is if you can spend $50, get yourself a Sega Saturn. Pseudo Saturn, you can make one yourself. It's going to cost you around $30. I bought one off of eBay, pre-made done, so I don't have to worry about taking apart my Saturn to make it. So you'll be looking at maybe $90 total, which isn't too bad. Because then you can literally just burn the entire catalog onto CD and play them that way. Because collecting is getting really expensive. But here's the neat thing though about the Sega Saturn version of this game, is that you can play the entire game as Richter or Maria starting off. Right. So at least though you're not looking at something that's like super expensive, you know, especially if you're looking to save games. So that way, you know, there's not an EverDrive for it currently. Last I heard, I think a guy named Professor Abrasive figured out how to hack the back port where you'd normally plug in a video CD extension for the Sega Saturn. He got that hacked, and if he can get that working, which we've heard he's been doing good progress on, might be able to do like an EverDrive some port someday where you can just plug in an SD card full of ISOs or bin Q files and play them that way. And the slowdown. And the mesh transparencies. Now, I don't think Maria has the ability to upgrade at all. I don't think she has any type of hit points. Well, like, I mean, experience points. Okay, so start and L is the map. Okay, I can't get into menu with her because I don't think anything exists for that. Okay, so she does have the Richter down-up jump. Yep, this is the one where you normally would, but she actually has a dash. You just double tap forward. But normally, if you're playing as Alucard, you'd be facing the other way and just dashing like this constantly. Okay, that lined up just right. Okay, so she has a dive kick. Yes, that was Rom Scout. He was crazy enough. It wasn't the Japanese version I'm playing right now, but yeah, he did a blindfolded run of this not too long ago, and it was pretty crazy. He needed help twice, which is still not bad. And all things considered, because like he had an error menuing the game. Now take a look at the crosshair. Yeah. Emulation actually can fix that. But the reason why the cross was all screwed up looking is because the Sega Saturn renders everything in triangles. Not triangles, squares. The PlayStation, I'm getting everything backwards right now, I'm confused. PlayStation rendered everything in triangles, Saturn in squares. And the Saturn also doesn't go as low for resolution as the PlayStation does. So they had to double up on pixels, to my understanding, in order to make everything fit into the screen for the resolution of the Sega Saturn, which is why certain things look off. They also didn't program in proper transparencies for certain things. Like her After Effect is meshed, which is kind of interesting because you can play this on an emulator, which can actually fix everything. Well, this was built to be the ultimate 2D system, and of course they decided to port this over from the Sony side, from the PlayStation, and just didn't really put too much work into it, sadly. There's no other real way to describe it. It's pretty much a lazy port. Because this should have been the ultimate version. Well, it's easy to blame Bernie for everything, because he was responsible for a lot of things, but eventually all conversations turn up to what killed the Sega Saturn, and Sega in general, and it's just a lot of things. It wasn't one thing. How many hertz did that take? Okay, so it was at multiple 4 and uses that much. Yes, and then you add those stairs in there, T. Wallace, with Medusa heads. Ugh. No thank you. Yeah, I didn't really like Castlevania until this game. Which is, of course, you know, invented the whole Castle, or Metroidvania, I should say. The whole exploration, which pretty much changed all the Castlevania games from being linear to this style after it. Yeah, this was a massive game changer. A paradigm shift, to use buzzwords. They didn't have the same goals. Even on the Sega Genesis, things got really screwed up. Like, my favorite book I like to tell people about, and if you want the audiobook version, I will put it in the chat, is the book Console Wars, which you need to take with a huge grain of salt, because it's mostly reconstructed conversations, but it does have a lot of facts in there. And it does go through a lot of the conflict between Sega Japan and Sega of America. You know, because they wanted to do something crazy, but the American side, Tom Kalinske, had the guarantee that you could do free reign for what you want. Have at it. You're gonna save the company. It looks like Castlevania, but it isn't. It is. This is the Japanese version of Symphony of the Night on the Sega Saturn, which allows you to play as Maria and Richter at the very start. So you don't have to play as Alucard. So it's Symphony of the Night with different characters. Yep, so it is Castlevania. I should probably stop doing that. I think this is a save room. Yep. And look at these wonderful polygon cross. All messed up. What's up, Strappin'? I think that's your name. I am terrible with Twitch names, so I apologize if I just murdered it. It's nothing personal. I am just terrible at Twitch names. Yes, it's the exact same game with slowdowns, unfortunately, certain points, and I think they added in one new area, like the Hidden Garden, I think it was called, and you have, like, you literally fight the Predator there. It's kind of funny. And that's pretty much the only change, other than playing as Maria or Richter from the start. Yeah, so in order to access the map, I don't know if I can do it. Yeah, you have to press start, then you hit L, and then you can see the map. It's kind of weird. Yeah, the map is... Oh man, look at that slowdown. Chug! So yeah, there was new areas added, and this is special. Unfortunately, this game has gone really high in price. It just... I guess people kind of realized that it wasn't going to be that popular, so therefore people decided that it was going to be rare of a game. Because for the longest time it was $80. And when I went to buy it, then I found out it jumped to like almost $3. Let's see. What does this currently cost? To type right underneath, because I'm using the Elgato software, which is super sensitive. Let's see. Okay, so this game is going anywhere from $160 to about $250 on eBay. So what is she hollering? Ha! That's pretty much it. She's also gonna kick. Let's see, what's about this? Guardian Knuckle. Pretty sure I'm passing up a save point out here. Here it is. Yeah, grittiest Knuckles? Kinda. Not too bad, though. I mean, it's not the clearest. So Maria is pretty strong, and as a result, she does not have experience points. She does not get stronger. Come here, I kick you. Maria should have been the MMA. Kick somebody and they explode in the blood? That's impressive. Maria from Mortal Kombat. Yeah, let's go back to the axe. Probably getting the different versions of Castlevania mixed up, but I could have sworn that she had, like, her familiars, like her dragons and so forth, that she had from Rondo of Blood, but it could just be myself getting confused. So when is the new Mortal Kombat game coming out, and were you excited for it? The game is out now, and I'm not really excited for it, because it needs to be patched. There are massive problems with the game that have to do with grinding in particular. Like, they have it set up. Go back to the axe. Yeah, the axe for the win for sure. But with Mortal Kombat 11, there is huge problems with grinding right now, because everything you have to do, like through the crypt, is completely random, whereas all the other ones, everything was at a certain location. So I could tell you, like, hey, I found this brutality you can unlock at this coordinates, and you could go on your system and do it. Now it's completely random, and it's super grindy. And in order to get things, like, you have to play these incredibly difficult, cheap towers that are just not worth the frustration and effort for it. Maximilian Dude did a video on it. Let me put that into YouTube, or put that here in the chat real quick. Haven't had time to watch it. It's like a 23-minute video, but he does really good stuff and very articulate with his thoughts, and he's one of the streamers I watch, so he definitely breaks down all the problems currently existing with Mortal Kombat 11. So the developers said that they realize that there is a problem and they are working on fixing it, but it might take a week or so. So I'm going to wait to see if all those problems are fixed before I pull the trigger on it myself. Is Fallout 76 bad? I would say, personally, probably yes, because it's not story-driven anymore. They made it all online. And if the server hiccups and throws you off, you lose your progress. Wait a minute, here, is this unlocked? It is! Aha! Sweet. So, Fallout 76 I definitely skipped. There was lots of problems with it. Fallout 3 is my favorite one. I liked it a lot. 4 I didn't really get into. I didn't think it was bad. I didn't think it was good. I just thought it was kind of like more of the same. Which is fine. I mean, it's not anything bad, but I tend to have problems with those type of games where I lose way too much time into them. Like, I had to stop playing Skyrim because, to back up a little bit, when I played Fallout 3, I dumped probably close to either 400 or 500 hours total into that game. 300 of it was in the Xbox 360 and about 200 was on PC. Pardon me. So that game kind of took over my life. And then when I started playing Skyrim, I hit like 100 hours and I was like, okay, I need to stop playing. It's like, this is getting out of control. Just hearts, okay. There's probably something here really cool with Alucard. But with Fallout 76, they took away almost all the story. There's just about no NPCs, only just other characters. Like other people you're playing with in the environment. So that just doesn't seem fun to me. And a lot of people kind of felt the same way. Okay, cannot roll through. I'm going to die. The swords, soldiers have some really good animations for a Super Nintendo game. Well, this is Sega Saturn, so I almost said Genesis, which would have been completely wrong. Yep, Sega Saturn. Yeah, this would have been awesome on the Super Nintendo, if I was able to do it. Yep, this is Sega Saturn, an actual Sega Saturn, because I have a RetroTink 2X, which works finally, which is great. So therefore I can play actual consoles now, retro ones. Oh good, there's a save point right up above me. And it makes old games look great, because this was like a 240p signal, and it doubles it up to 480p. Which isn't too great by today's standards, but it makes old games look amazing. And I'm also using it in conjunction with HD Retrovision cables. So you can get some pretty good picture out of the Sega Saturn. Sega Genesis, unfortunately, still has a lot of problems. Oh, dude, quit sitting there. I think it's got to be my Sega Genesis at this point. I think I might have just said Sega Saturn, but I mean Sega Genesis. It's still having problems with the sound. It's still crackling and popping, so I'm thinking it's probably some kind of overmodulation problem with my unit. But this, everything else works great. I've popped in my Super Nintendo. I've done, the Sega Saturn right now. I've also hooked in my Xbox. The original Xbox looks great, and no popping or cracking. Love to see an HD remaster of this. Well, they kind of have. It's not the Saturn version I'm playing right now, unfortunately. But this has been remastered for PlayStation 4, Xbox 360 originally. But it's always been the PlayStation version. Even PSP. Oh, hey, I didn't quite notice this right here. As I slam my head into the ceiling. Yes, and the PlayStation 4 version does 4K, which this game doesn't really need to be 4K. But yeah, I would love to see like the Saturn version just done right. Given the full proper treatment. I'd be all for that. Oh yes, way faster. That it's like, okay, I think this is not something I can get past right now. Yeah, she's got a dash, which is great. So that way you don't have to stand here and just, you know, with Alucard, you're doing that back dash constantly. She can just like, screw that, I'm just running. See y'all later. Although I don't know the rest of her moves, because I know about the fireball motion. And let's place it axe for the win. So I know about her fireball motion, and I think that's just about it. I know that she has other moves, like she's got the double jump attack, or the dive kick. Oh, she's got a triple jump. I thought it was a double jump. Okay, so let's see. Company of the Knight, Saturn. Just type Knight correctly. Move list. Akumajou Dracula X. Kekana Yoshioku. Up, down, down, forward, forward, flame burst. Okay, so this is game facts, so take it with a huge grain of salt, because almost everything I ever found on the site is incorrect. Okay, that's pretty cool. So that's up, then a fireball motion and punch, and that used up 30 of my magic. There's also healing, which is, looks like... Oh, it's a 360 in fire. She'll recover some life. Owl summons. Okay, so there is a dragon summons. That's right. Okay, so... Nope. Okay, let's try that again. Forward, back, down, down, forward, forward, back. Nope. So basically forward, then it's a forward half circle, and then back and fire. It just keeps moving the Guardian Knuckle. Okay. Yeah, it's a long wind-up, but I have a feeling that's just gonna shred a boss. I don't know if anything pauses, though. Like, if the game pauses, like, while I do that. Because it is going dark screen, but if enemies are still moving, you'd have to really, really plan that out. Okay, so enemies do stop. Overkill? Yes. Hilarious? Always. Yeah, you got suckers! That'd be cool. Oh, she shoots... Okay, that's axe. She's got a downward shot. Where exactly am I at on the map? Way up here. And I don't think I've ever done a full playthrough as Maria before. So I've just kind of messed around with this mostly on emulator, because I've only had my Sega Saturn for about a week or two. So this is my first time actually playing this on the Saturn itself. Did I pass a secret room, or was I in a secret room? Because you said you had all the down low on all the rooms and such. Oh! Okay, so go back, throw axes at the ceiling. Was it right in here? while we wait, I'm gonna crack open a drink real quick. Alright, let's give it a try. Next room, okay. Make me waste all my axes that I wasn't using before. Come back, axe. There it is. And this is probably definitely something for Alucard. Just not Maria. But it's still cool, I didn't know about that. Yep. Unfortunately, like, all the cool things you get as Alucard just don't exist for Maria and Richter. Pardon me. Check the map. No, that's fine. Like I said, I didn't know that was there anyway, so it's all good. Ah, yes, the climb. I remember hating doing this as Alucard. I think at the top is only, like, items. So it probably won't be worth it as Maria, I'm thinking. Whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. Oh, this looks great. Hi there. Please hold still. I would like some cooked chicken. Oh, you suck. Come back down here. Oh, baby. That's great if you can get to stay put. Okay, that move rocks. That's worth it. See, biggest gripe was Symphony Night, all these vendor trash items. No vendor! Yeah, you got the guy in the library. But I mean, it's a while to work your way back to him. Ooh, a heart. Thank goodness I went all the way up here. That was definitely worth it. Yeah, it's really kind of works. I'm like, okay, there should be something going on here, and there's not. Hydrostorm is bosses. Now, it wasn't until I started seeing speedruns and stuff that I learned that there was all sorts of different moves for Alucard, because this game doesn't really tell you anything It's just like, here you go, go in and figure stuff out. So, like, for Richter has moves, Maria has moves, and this game doesn't tell you that. It might be in the instruction manual, but I never owned this for PlayStation. I've only borrowed it from friends back in the day. And then I bought the 360 port when it came out. Give me back my axe. Okay, so what is the owl familiar? I saw something like that. So charge up. So I'm guessing it's like the bat familiar. Yep. Castle Keep. So where am I at now? Way back here. It doesn't look like it's using up magic. Of course, it's disappeared right now. But I was keeping an eye on it because Maria has her gauge, like you can see it's flashing underneath the axe. So when you shoot, it does go down, but it seemed like it refilled back up. Because I expected it to constantly draining something, either hearts or magic. And it didn't do any of that. Okay, I'm just gonna go over here and save. Pardon me. That cross was in an accident. Yeah, you can see the magic bars going up. So it costs a summon. So if you're in the middle of a battle, might not be the best. It looks like it's just refilling pretty well, so no real downside to not have it there. Of course, this is probably a save right here. Nope. I remember there being a save not too far here, because I think I'm close to Dracula's throne room. Okay, that's outside. Thank you, owl friend. Oh, okay. This is right on top of where I was. Oh, that magic attack is so awesome. I mean, you're already playing a broken game already, so might as well just go ape with it. But interestingly enough, though, it took away my familiar. So I guess you can only have one magic spell active at the same time. I don't know if you can do 100%, to be honest. Just because, like, there was one part I encountered where you couldn't do anything. Like, I couldn't go through. It was like where you need to mist walk. Because I'm sure there was, like, bars there or something. Or maybe you had to turn into the Panther or whatever it is that Alucard turns into. Because Maria just couldn't get past that point. Unless there's a back way through it. But you should be able to complete it 100% easily with Richter. Not Richter, but everybody, like Alucard. Now, I wonder if these items are the same as when you start the game, normally. Nope, all hearts. Yep, this is the boss room to the left. Which I know is probably going to give me the bad end. I don't know. Come on. Because I know with Alucard you have to have the special glasses so you can defeat, I think it's whoever it is, like maybe Shaft or whoever it was above. Oh, and no Dracula fight. Okay. Is it just going to get me right to the inverted castle? It looks like it's going to. That's crazy. That's awesome, so you can just go straight to the inverted castle. Pretty wild. Okay, what's happening here? Oh, okay, just loading. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I like it. Wait, it won't let me back up through there? Interesting. Really gonna make me fight this guy? Okay. I think it was the same guy for a second, and it's not. Okay, so that thing has either a timer or X amount of kills, and then it just disappears. Oh, the slowdown, it chugs. Yeah, the knockback in this is brutal with Maria. Okay, nothing down here for me, most likely. Oh, just hearts, okay. Did you just Mega Man respawn on me? Not cool. It did. What a jerk. Well, I gotta have some kind of penalty for you as playing her. So, I mean, she is just ridiculously overpowered. At least she's not turning to stone, so that makes Medusa's a little bit more tolerable. Still, I always hated this room. Go, Al, go! At least the Al's trying to avenge me. Chasing after everybody. Just feels like there would be something here in addition, but guess not. What if it turns out that's the origin of it? That'd be awesome. Yes, I retired from my days in Castlevania, and now I hang out at school with magic. Okay, so I'm at the staircase. And a save room, perfect. Alright. Well, this is actually where I'm going to be stopping the stream for today. My thumbs are getting sore with the arthritis and such. But it's been pretty awesome, so really happy that I have the ability to play this now on an actual system, which is a lot more fun. So definitely want to thank everybody for hanging out. Strappin, if I'm saying your name correct, hopefully I still am. Mollusk, T. Wallace, Ronnie came by, The Morgue, Metavan AJ. A lot of people came in. Of course, anybody who lurks, always cool. And sorry if I forgot anybody, but it's not intentional. So I'll be back again, hopefully tomorrow, streaming around 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you don't know when that is, just type that into Google. They'll tell you exactly where it is, for whenever it is, for wherever you are in the world. You can also check me out on Twitter at Worsel555. So you don't have to follow me or anything like that, but if you feel like coming back to the stream, I usually post up around 2 to 3 hours in advance when I'm going to be streaming, or if I need to delay it for whatever reason or cancel, I post there. So hopefully I'll be back again tomorrow night. Might do another Bayonetta 2 speedrun, and then we'll figure out things from after there. But I definitely want to get back to playing more Sega Saturn on stream. Now I can do 3DO as well. I can actually bust out my real copy of Space Pirates, which would be great. Also Super Nintendo stuff, so things are definitely opening up. So thanks for hanging out. I'm on my Elgato software, so I don't have any closing videos or anything cool. Let me see if there's anybody hosting right now. Let's host to Lucha Jim. Let's see if he's doing any type of speedruns. Yep, looks like he's working on Castlevania Dracula X for the Super Nintendo, which is really hard. So thanks for hanging out. Hopefully see you guys next time.